What's up, guys? It's your girl, Miss O, and we are back for another review with me. And we are going to review Belle Collective Birmingham Season 1, Episode 3, titled The Lie Before the Storm. But before we get started, I told y'all Episode 1 and 2 that I was not going to like Miss Tiffany Jones. Episode 3 has sealed the deal for me. And from the previews of episode 4, it is going to put the icing on the cake. But with that being said, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to skip past the intro. But what we not going to skip on is y'all liking the video, y'all subscribing to the channel. Thank you guys who have already did so. And letting somebody know I'm over here doing reviews. So we pick up the episode where we left off last episode at the couple's game night event. Fumi lets Tiffany know that the vibes was just kind of off. It's just something that she's picking up from Tiffany. And I think a lot of us is picking it up, Fumi. You're not crazy. Tiffany tells Fumi, I own the room and I'm very confident. So I don't think that I did anything to make you feel some kind of way. Tiffany, you're not listening. She's telling you that your vibe, and you can put whatever your definition of vibe is in that category. She's telling you that it was off. We saw that it was off as well. But anyway, Fumi cut her off and let her know right off rip, I'm not intimidated by your confidence, honey. And see, Fumi, that's what I like about you. Don't let some shit linger. Even though you kind of let this conversation linger when we had the brunch, dinner, whatever it was at your home. But we're going to go bypass that. So Fumi lets her know I'm not intimidated by your confidence. And Tiffany claps back real quick, real spicy, and said, okay, I never said that you did. I put in my notes, but you insinuating it. I told y'all this little nice, nasty shit that she does is going to continue to piss me off. You want to be this holier than thou, Bible toting, scripture reading woman of God, but you got this nasty ass disposition about you. And I just, this is what I'm seeing as a viewer. But if I was around you in real life, you definitely wouldn't be in my friend group. I mean, it's your attitude is just nasty and you don't see it. That's the problem. They continue to go back and forth with this conversation. I kind of wandered off in the brain a little bit, so I didn't catch the end of the conversation. But I did put Tiffany was being dismissive, and Fumi seen this as a never-ending conversation, so she decided to end the conversation and decided to leave. So as she was trying to leave, not trying, but as she was leaving, she was trying to be pleasant, in my opinion, by saying, "Well, I appreciate the invite." And in the confessional, Tiffany said, let's be clear. For the record, you invited yourself. And that's not necessarily true because she was encouraged by the group of ladies who's supposed to be your friends who know you like that. We're gonna get to that further on into the episode. So as Fumi starts to leave, Stormy wanted to know what was said, and Fumi basically tells her, and I'm paraphrasing, she was dismissive, her energy is just off, and I don't vibe with her. And you know, Stormy kind of feels that energy as well. She was like, "So it's a level of discernment, huh?" And she Fumi said, "Look, your dog didn't even like her. Okay, the end is just something. So I'm gonna get in my car and I'm gonna make it home." So as Synetta and Stormy walks back into the building, they walk into the conversation of Tiffany telling Amber what had took place between the conversation with her and Fumi. In that, she said, I'm not gonna say I don't like her, but you're running off of vibe. That's an assumption. And Stormy chimed in and said, I'm not gonna lie, I'm big on energy. I'm an energy person. And Tiffany said, I don't have a problem with her. I had a problem with the time. Now, as much as I don't like Tiffany, based off what I've seen so far, I'm gonna have to agree with her. She was having an event. The event was not over. It doesn't seem like it was over when Fumi pulled her to the side. Fumi did come there with the intentions to speak to her about how she was feeling. Uh, with the go ahead of Synetta and Amber, because she said it too. Moving past that, I do agree that we should have pulled up at a brunch spot or asked me to go get a mocktail or something. So I'm with Tiffany a tad bit on this ain't the time, this ain't the place. I'm big on time and place. Moving forward, Tiffany, the Stormy brings it up that Synetta thought it was a good idea. So the way Tiffany turned and looked at Synetta, I don't know what kind of evil eye Tiffany has, but Synetta backpedaled. She backpedaled. Tiffany being passive aggressive thanked the ladies for messing up her game night. And I was just like, you know what? How did these ladies mess up her game night? I mean, Fumi came to you with the conversation. Now, the ladies, I'm not going to say the ladies because Stormy was not a part of that. Amber and Synetta suggested to Fumi that it may be a good idea to show up and have this conversation with you. So maybe they ruined it, but Stormy did. And then Stormy felt some kind of way about that. Tiffany was going around and starting to hug the ladies to end the night. And Tiffany was like, don't do that, Stormy. And Stormy was like, don't do what? Stormy was like, I came here looking like royalty. I know I was here to host. I was picking up cups, doing all of this stuff. And Tiffany chimed in. She was like, and now you can go mop. Stormy, I was expecting your reaction to be a little more quick. Cause I would go mop. Who the fuck you think I am? Do I look like your janitor for this establishment? I mean, I would have had to eat into her, but I understand that you're on a different level and you're trying to be professional and everything you do because you are canvas beauty. So I do get that. I thought that was rude as hell for Tiffany to tell that lady to go mop, and Stormy felt that way too. Stormy said in her confessionals, "You better be lucky I ain't tell your ass I should mop the floor up with you." So we end that scene, and I'm glad we ended that scene. So moving on to the next scene is Stormy meeting up with Mikey, and they speak about the 48-hour live. They discuss how they done lives before, but this one is different because it's 48 hours. She also discussed that she wanted a mail um, on the live event to test out some of the products. So she had the great idea to ask Mr. Martell Holt. And if you guys aren't familiar with who Martell Holt is, he is the ex-husband of Melody Cherie from a show called Love and Marriage Huntsville. Stormy at one point in time used to be a cast member on that show. Moving on. She calls Martell. He actually answers the phone and she tells him she's having this event with Lala Anthony and she wants to book him. And she was like, whether y'all want to like it or not, the ladies, his fans, love Martell Holt's look. And I'm going to agree, Martell Holt has a very nice looking body. Um, he's good eye candy, so I can agree with her on. Now, I am questioning why him, but whatever. Martell is a nice looking loser. So, I mean, he fit the bill. The body is right. Now, Stormy, I do have another question. You said that Martell is on the same caliber as Lala. And I would like to know what caliber is that? Because if we're talking about body wise, how good they look and how good they would look together in a photo shoot or something like that, I concur. But he ain't on the caliber of a damn caterpillar with me. Anyway, we're moving forward. Stormy do book him, and it's gonna end up being a good, successful live. Now, during that conversation, Marcel did ask Stormy, "You let Lala know I'm the villain for the past 6 years. You made yourself the villain, sir. I just want you to know that. I hope we all are clear that you made yourself the villain." So they wrap that call up, and Stormy begins to talk to Mikey, who is her creative director. She was like, "I got something to tell you," and he like, "What?" And I was like, "What?" I wanted to know the way she made it seem, the way it rolled off her tongue, like she had something very, very important to tell him. So we all wanted to know. So it's kind of like a jump scene because we get to Amber, and Amber is pulling up at Tiffany's at Tiffany to catch up with her, and she just wanted to find out how she felt about what happened at the couple game night, and they go on and discuss it or whatever. And it just seemed like that Tiffany, Amber is going to be indifferent, and Tiffany is not going to be able to see it from somebody else's perspective, and it's going to be a huge problem when you're trying to be in situationships with ladies. You know what I'm saying? Tiffany, you're gonna have to take some type of accountability for your part in what's going on. Moving on. So Stormy and Mickey discuss. I said Mickey, Mikey discuss how she was feeling, and she said that Tiffany, and I'm paraphrasing, I don't like her energy. What we're about to do is something that we've never done before, and I just can't afford for something that I can avoid to mess up versus something that's inevitable. Paraphrasing. She don't want Tiffany at the live because she already gonna be having other shit going on, and that's one less thing she gonna have to worry about. You know what, Stormy? I actually agree with you. The only thing that I don't agree with was how the information was handled. Somewhere in the episode, Tiffany does relay that she wish she would have got a phone call. And I wish she would have gave her that courtesy. It didn't even have to be a phone call. It could have been a voice memo. It could have been a text, an email. But I feel like she should have got this invitation from the person who extended the invitation. You know what I mean? Anywho, we're moving on from there. Stormy tells Mikey that she um uninvited Tiffany. So we flip over, and Synetta happens to call, and Synetta is going to be the bone carrier for Belle Collective. She's a friend of, but she is definitely going to be the bone carrier this season. Synetta calls Amber, and Amber, I believe it was a actual phone call. So Amber puts it on speakerphone while Tiffany is able to hear. So she's included in the conversation. And Synetta asks Amber, "Did you know that only a few of us are invited?" And Tiffany, not Tiffany, but Amber said, "Well, I was already going to be there. So what do you mean?" And Synetta drops the bomb and lets her know that the invitation was only extended to Kayla, Fumni, and I, which is Synetta. So Amber is like, "Okay, that's everybody but Tiffany." So Amber is confused. Tiffany is confused. because she thought they were having a good time and they were joking. And see, that's what happened when you don't know people. You have to get to know people, because the way you move around, the way you joke and everything may not be the same as someone else, and you have to understand those levels of boundaries. But anyway, so Tiffany find out that she is disinvited from the live, and she's like, "Well, you guys have fun." It rolls off her shoulder. Tiffany doesn't seem to really care that she was disinvited to the event. And I mean, that's just how you gotta go. So then we move on to Kayla. Not Kayla. We got a lot to talk about, man. We got a lot to talk about. It's good to see a mother on screen mothering ish. She's on screen with her children. The kids come in from school. She has a 16-year-old, a 13-year-old, an 11-year-old, and I did not get that last baby age. But the son comes in. She does what moms do and inquire about how was school today. Did anybody get in trouble? And the son came in and just was honest with her, which I can respect. He came, he said, yeah, kind of, a little bit. He explained that he got in trouble. Something happened in the class. He started coughing, and the teacher tells A, don't be bothered with him because he just seeking for attention. And this boy proceeds to tell his mama that I told the teacher to stay off my meat. And she laughed. And as a millennial, because I think she said she's 35, so she fit in that category of millennial. I would have got knocked upside my head if I would have said that to my teacher in my household when I was coming up. And see, that is the difference between raising your children and growing up with your children. And I tell people this all the time. My partner and his parents are significantly older than my mother. They were older when they had him. So the way he thinks about things is based off him being raised by baby boomers. So I always tell people he was raised by his parents. I grew up with mine. And this is essentially what Kayla is doing with her children. I can't believe she laughed at that. And I wanted to know if that was like a nervous laugh or she actually thought. Anywho, the oldest daughter has something going on. It's curriculum night, and she wanted to know if she'll be able to attend. So, in order for her to attend, she asks the older son if he can look after the younger son. And he said, no, I'm not doing that. She like, why? It's boring. Excuse me, you thought you had a choice? I said, you gonna look after him while I go do something with your older sister that's of importance with her academics. That's it. I don't know what daddy doing, but we need a little bit of assistance. I also put in my notes, Kayla, I got a lot of questions about your story that you trying to sell us because stuff does not sound right, because you flashed a picture on the screen when you were around the same age as your daughter. Y'all look just alike, might I add. And you mean to tell me that 33-year-old grown ass man didn't know that you was a child, a teenager? Miss me with it. I know this may be a touchy subject because you thought you knew what you knew when you was of that age. You are bringing this information to TV, and he is the father of your 4 children. I get it. But we're going to have to be honest and have honest conversation on what took place, honey. You were groomed. And now that you're older, I hope you wouldn't allow your 16-year-old to date a 33-year-old man. It's a lot of questions with this situation because I'm also questioning your mama. Mom, what you thought was gonna happen? You didn't want her to be with this 33-year-old man, but you gonna put her out? I don't know. I think you left home because you was 18 and you wanted to do what you wanted to do. But don't sit up here and try to sell us this bullshit story that that 33-year-old man didn't know you was 17 when he met you. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. You can sell that to somebody else. Moving on. Stormy is recording a promo video, just letting the people know that she is going to be having an upcoming live. It's going to be 48 hours, and she has a huge celebrity collaboration going on. And be there or be square. So we see that she did get the final box in. It's definitely better quality than the prototype that was sent. She is very, very happy, but she cannot express how happy she is because the internet is just messing up. But she detours. She get on the phone. She have a conversation with Michael. She asks, when can she get the boxes? She wants the boxes in hand, so she gonna use her husband's trucking company and have him go down there and get the 5,000 boxes. It's gonna be a turn and burn. She said it's gonna be a turn and a burn. And with Courtney being able to do that, that is gonna save 36 hours of time, which is great for her. So they get ready and they wrap that up and they go to head to rehearsals. So then we skip to Amber and Kyler. And they're getting ready for the live. So they are packing. They're going over some of the outfits. And Amber is a millennial like myself. And Kylan is a Gen Zer like my son. And I definitely see the correlation. But not Tiffany, I'm sorry. Amber, you're going to have to give us something more. You're not gonna be able to skate as just being the CFO for Canvas Beauty. It ain't giving us no love life. Ain't giving us. I mean, what we doing? Then your niece hints on why you always gotta dress like a boy. You trying to hide something? It's 2026. You don't have to hide it. But anywho, I actually think Kaylin will be more interesting in Amber's spot than Amber being a Belle. But moving along, they go back and forth about what they're packing, and Amber gives her niece her big ones. She let us know that Kayla is an influencer and marketing coordinator over there at Canvas Beauty. She graduated in 2024 with her business marketing degree from the University of Alabama. Woo woo! Give your niece her tens. That's what's up, Kaylin. That's what's up. So they go into having a conversation on how intense the lives are. And Amber said, hey, I've been a part of 4 major live events and it's really intense and we've never done anything such as a 48-hour live. So, we just gonna have to go with the flow. So we move on to the day. We see Pep, the event planner, getting the space together. Pep, you look like you cost a whole lot of money because you be having Stormy spaces decked out and they look amazing and beautiful. And I hope that your event planning business is flourishing with tons of clients because you do some amazing work. Let's give a shout out to Pep, the event planner. So we get a scene where Kayla, Fumni, and Synetta, they're riding together down to Huntsville in a black car. And They are getting to know one another. And because Kayla was not at the couple's game night event, Synetta begins to feel Kayla on what was going on. Kayla wanted to know where was Tiffany, and Synetta lets her know, hey, Tiffany and Fumni had a situation at the event, and it kind of rubbed Stormy the wrong way, and she just want to have a successful, live event. So she disinvited Tiffany, and Kayla was like, "Oh, so we the ones bringing the vibes, okay?" So Synetta calls Tiffany to see how she's feeling. I guess trying to be a good friend, but really was being nosy, honestly. And Tiffany ain't bothered not one bit because you know why? Her husband is taking her on a day trip to Atlanta so they can go eat some food. And I'm gonna be a little bit honest. I'm a foodie, so I would definitely would have loved the day trip with my husband to go get some food in a different state. But she lets them know she's fine. Have a good time. Take a lot of pictures because I want to see. Cool. We in that car. We flip over to Tiffany, and she calls her uncle Ricky. Yeah, that Ricky. Ricky smiling, and you could tell that this scene is produced because they wasn't even on the phone. It looked like for 10 seconds, and she just said, "Hey, uncle, I'm going to Atlanta. Give me some restaurant recommendation." Girl, you could have yelped those recommendations. Get out of here. Anywho, so Stormy was running through the rehearsal, and that's when Lala arrives, and Lala is just taken aback. She can't believe how Stormy puts on. Stormy knows her shit. That's just it. So she's thoroughly impressed. She's seeing the behind the scenes work with how lives work, and Lala looks like she's ready to work. So they're running around in the background. We found out that Amber job is to stay on top of numbers. Stormy apparently put her ahead of a spreadsheet that she was supposed to create, and she just said, "If you can't follow, handle intense moments, you are not the candidate to work at Karen's Beauty." The live is getting ready to start in 10 minutes. We find out that Stormy been planning this live for 3 months, and we're down to the minutes. Her and Lala do like a preview. Hey, we going live, so bring your ass over here. And somebody say, what's the numbers for the box? The box is $300, but it's on sale, on flash sale for $175. That sounds like a lot for a box, but it's Lala Anthony. It's Canvas Beauty. Take my money. So they start the live, and it already started off wrong. They're having technical difficulties. There is no sound. Soon as the live started, I mean, it just jump started, and we had over 450,000 people in that live, and they are having technical difficulties. I think maybe Stormy wanted to do the live with wireless mics, but she ended up having to do it with handheld mics. Either way, as long as the people can hear the sound, that's all that matters. We move past that. Then we get to the next issue, which is the people had already started clicking the link and buying things, but these people think they are buying the box, which have 5 pieces in there, and they were all buying trios. So that was another thing. Stormy is upset. It falls on her and makes her name look bad, and she is not here for it. We got to get that corrected. So we see Stormy being frustrated, and that wrapped up the end of the episode. Now, I kind of feel like this episode was a filler episode, but it still was a good episode. The less Tiffany for me, the better. That's just me personally. Amber, you are definitely going to have to give more than what you're giving because your niece Kylan is giving more than what you're giving. Um, Stormy, I would tell you to relax a little bit, but I can't tell you that. You're running a multi-million-dollar business. So the anxiety is going to be present. Just don't let it affect your health. That's all I'm going to say. Fumi, I like you. I like you a lot. Synetta, I like you. I think you are very, very beautiful. To see that chocolate skin with that red hair, I love it. But be careful on the bones you carry. But that's all I got for you guys. If you made it to the end of the video, please do me a favor, like it, drop a green heart in the comments for me. Also, drop down in the comments and have some Discord with me. Let me know how you guys are feeling about this week's episode of Belle Collective Birmingham. Carlos, I think you are doing so much better with this with Birmingham than with Jackson. And I think if you move a couple of pieces away from Jackson and add some pieces, we might can be on the same level, and I would be a viewer and a reviewer for both. But with that being said, that's all I got for you guys. I'm Miss O, and this is what I had to say.